right, so let's get into this deep dive that you guys requested on Uncaged Masculinity. And you're really looking to understand masculinity's place in the world today, especially how it affects families and relationship, and kind of where it intersects with the whole red pill philosophy. Conrad Reicher's book is going to be our guide here.
Right.
And
Yeah.
let me tell you.
It's a fascinating book.
It is.
It's packed with some bold statements.
It really is bold. I mean, he just jumps right in.
He doesn't hold back.
No, he does not hold back. He's not afraid to challenge people's assumptions. And that's probably why this book really resonates with certain communities.
Exactly. And he doesn't just touch on like the surface level stuff.
Right.
He goes deep into biology,
Yeah.
psychology, even evolutionary history to kind of trace how we got to where we are today.
Yeah. It's a big picture look at masculine.
It really is.
And right from the start, he makes this argument that men and women are fundamentally different. And he spends a lot of time like really diving into the biological underpinnings of that.
Yeah.
He talks about brain structure hormones, how these differences might have evolved over time.
Yeah, he even cites those brain studies that show men might excel in spatial reasoning.
Oh, right.
Which could explain why they historically took on those roles, like hunting, building, and navigation.
Yeah.
It's like he's making a case that there's like a biological basis for some of these traditional gender roles that we see.
And then he takes that even further and connects it to evolutionary psychology.
Right.
Like he's arguing that men are wired to be protectors and providers. He uses testosterone as a prime example, explaining how it's linked to muscle growth assertiveness.
Right.
Those traits that would have been so essential for survival in our evolutionary past.
It makes you think, right?
Yeah.
Like how much of who we are is nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really interesting, I think, for anyone familiar with the red pill philosophy, because that often emphasizes these distinct natural roles for men and women. And Reicher's arguments seem to really align with that perspective,
They do.
suggesting that biology really plays a significant role
Yes.
in shaping our behaviors and our inclinations.
But he doesn't just stop at biology.
Right.
He goes on to psychology and highlights these 4 core masculine traits: courage, resilience, assertiveness,
And strength.
and strength.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And this is where he really starts to challenge like modern societal norms.
Yeah.
He argues that these core traits, while essential for men's well-being,
Right.
for a thriving society,
Yeah.
they're often undermined or even demonized
Oh.
in today's world. It's
Ah.
like he sees this as a crisis of masculinity,
Yes.
where men are caught in this double bind, praised for these traits in certain contexts, but then labeled as toxic in others.
Exactly, like resilience.
Yeah.
It's a quality we admire in a soldier.
Right.
But when a man shows resilience in other areas of life, it's suddenly seen as being stubborn or aggressive.
Yeah, it's like society wants men to be strong,
Yeah.
but not too strong.
Right.
Assertive, but not too assertive.
Exactly. You have to walk this fine line.
It's a very fine line.
And that ties into his critique of modern definitions of success.
Yeah.
He argues that those traditional markers like money and status don't always lead to fulfillment for men.
Right.
Instead, he's advocating for finding meaning and responsibility
Yes.
in being a provider and protector for your family and community.
Yeah, like finding purpose in those roles.
Exact. And that resonates so deeply with this whole idea of covert contracts.
Absolutely.
Which is a central concept in the red pill philosophy.
Right.
These are those unspoken agreements that we make with ourselves and with others about what it means to be successful, a good partner, a valuable member of society.
Right, like those expectations we often don't even realize we've bought into.
Exactly. And Riker seems to be pushing men to really examine those contracts, to ask themselves, are they living up to their own definition of success or someone else's?
It's about taking ownership, right?
Yes, finding your own path.
And that leads to what I find particularly fascinating, how he connects this back to the role of the father.
Yeah.
He argues that a father's importance goes way beyond just financial provision. Like he uses all these statistics to highlight those negative social outcomes that are associated with fatherless homes.
Like higher crime rates and poverty.
Exactly. It's pretty sobering when you look at the data.
It is. And it's not just about the statistics.
Right.
He shares this really powerful anecdote about Derek.
Oh, yeah.
This single dad who's working 2 jobs, but still prioritizes spending time with his kid.
It's a great example.
Yeah, and Riker uses Derek's story to show that fatherhood isn't just about bringing home a paycheck.
Right. It's about being present.
Yes.
Being involved, being that positive male role model.
And that presence really makes a difference.
It does. It shows that even when you're facing challenges, you can still prioritize being a good father.
And that's where Riker takes this deep dive into something that's sure to spark debate. Oh, I know what you're going to say.
This whole concept of male leadership and its historical significance.
Right. He's not afraid to go there.
No, he's not.
Oh.
He argues that men throughout history have been biologically and psychologically predisposed to take on leadership roles.
It's a bold,
It is.
and he backs it up with historical examples.
The Roman Empire, the British monarchy.
Yeah, he's suggesting that these civilizations thrived because of strong male leadership.
It's definitely going to get people thinking.
Oh, absolutely. It challenges a lot of conventional thinking.
But that's Riker's style, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes you rethink those long-held assumptions.
He's not afraid to shake things up.
Nope. And we haven't even gotten to his thoughts on the fallacy of gender equality.
Oh, yeah.
His critique of the modern workplace and his exploration of what he calls toxic masculinity.
Oh, there's a lot to unpack there.
So much.
I've only just scratched the surface.
We're just getting started. So this whole fallacy of gender equality thing that Riker goes into is super interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hot button topic for sure.
Oh, totally. And he's not saying, men and women shouldn't have equal rights and opportunity.
Right.
But he's arguing that trying to erase all distinctions between men and women, it actually kind of harms both in the long run.
So it's like going too far with this idea of equality.
Yeah, exactly. Like he uses the example of physical strength.
Okay.
And he's just pointing out the biological reality
Yeah.
that men are, on average, physically stronger than women.
Right.
And he's very clear that this isn't a value judgment.
Right.
But he's saying ignoring this difference can lead to problems.
Especially in the workplace.
Exactly. Like those physically demanding jobs that are still predominantly filled by men.
Right. Construction, firefighting, things like that.
Yeah. And it's not because of some grand conspiracy.
Right.
But it's just because men might be naturally better suited for those tasks.
Because of their physicality.
Exactly. It's like we need to acknowledge these inherent differences.
Yeah, instead of trying to force everyone into the same mold.
Right. And that leads directly into his discussion of male leadership.
And now I know this is another one of those topics that can be a bit sensitive.
For sure.
But before anyone jumps to conclusion,
Right.
Riker isn't saying women can't be leaders.
No, not at all.
He's arguing that throughout history, men have been biologically and psychologically predisposed to those leadership roles.
He's looking at the big picture, the historical patterns.
Right, and he points to historical examples.
Military leaders.
Rulers of empire.
I like those larger-than-life figures.
And it's a thought-provoking idea, especially when he connects it to the decline of Western civilization.
That's where it gets really interesting.
He suggests that as men have stepped back from these traditional roles, we've seen a rise in societal instability.
And a loss of those core values.
It's a perspective that definitely aligns with the red pill philosophy.
Oh, absolutely. That emphasis on men stepping up and taking charge.
For men looking to redefine their own covert contracts, Riker's argument might really resonate.
It's like a call to action. Yeah, to reclaim that sense of leadership.
And he doesn't just point out the problems.
Right.
He offers solution.
Okay, so what does he suggest?
He encourages men to rediscover and embrace what he calls their true masculine identity.
And what does that look like?
Well, it's not about becoming some hyper-aggressive,
Right.
domineering alpha male stereotype.
Yeah, that's not what he's advocating for.
No, it's about balance.
Okay.
He even talks about emotional intelligence for men.
Interesting.
Like being in touch with your emotions
Uh-huh.
doesn't equate to weakness.
Right.
In fact, he suggests it can make you a more effective leader.
Oh, I like that.
He uses the example of Barack Obama,
Interesting.
who was often seen as both strong and emotionally intelligent.
Right.
And Riker argues that this balance allowed Obama to connect with people while still commanding respect.
So it's not about suppressing your emotions.
No, it's about channeling them appropriately.
Yeah, like vulnerability can be a strength.
Exactly when expressed in the right way.
And that ties into another crucial point he makes.
The need for men to build strong, supportive relationships with other men.
Yeah, that's huge.
He argues that modern society often isolates men, which contributes to all these issues like higher rates of depression and suicide among men.
It's like we're not supposed to talk about our feelings
Exact. Men are statistically less likely to seek help.
for mental health issues.
Yeah, and he attributes that to the societal expectation that men should just suppress their emotions and tough it out.
Instead of reaching out for support.
And he advocates for a radical shift in how we view male friendship.
Okay, so what does he propose?
He wants men to create spaces
Oh,
where
yeah.
they can be open, vulnerable, share their struggles without judgment.
Like real talk.
Exactly. He tells this really powerful story about Tom,
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
this successful lawyer who was struggling silently with depression until he joined a men's group.
That made all the difference.
It's a perfect example of how powerful male bonding can be
Yeah, that sense of camaraderie.
and understanding
That's often missing.
in men's lives today.
And it aligns with the red pill philosophy's emphasis on brotherhood,
Yeah, men supporting each other.
having each other's back.
And Riker's vision goes beyond just emotional support.
Okay.
He wants men to help each other practically with things like career advice, financial planning.
So it's like a more holistic approach,
Exactly. It's like a return to that more traditional sense of community.
where men are there for each other.
Through thick and thin.
Yeah, like a true brotherhood.
And he even takes it further, extending the idea of male support to the realm of spirituality.
Okay, so how does that fit in?
He argues that many religions have traditionally viewed men as leaders and protectors, enforcing those roles that he believes have been challenged in recent years.
So it's like tapping into those ancient traditions.
Exactly. He uses examples from the Bible, pointing to stories of men who stood up for their beliefs, protected their family.
Led their community.
It's like he's saying these stories can provide a blueprint.
For men today.
Yeah, for those searching for meaning and purpose.
So it's about connecting to something larger than yourself.
Exactly. And he doesn't hold back in his critique of what he sees as a feminist attack on these traditional values.
Right.
He argues that the movement for gender equality often goes too far, trying to erase the distinctions between the sexes and ultimately harming both men and women.
So he's advocating for a more balanced approach,
Exact one that recognizes and respects the differences between the sexes.
while still advocating for equality.
Yeah, it's a nuanced perspective.
And one that's bound to generate some strong reaction.
Oh, for sure. It's a controversial topic.
But I think that's what makes Riker's work so compelling.
He's not afraid to challenge the status quo
And make people think critically.
about these really important issues.
And then he kind of goes into this whole idea of men as protectors and providers, which is something that's often dismissed or even like ridiculed in today's world.
Oh, total. It's like this outdated concept.
Right. But Riker argues it's not just some societal construct.
Right.
It's something that's deeply rooted in our biology and our evolutionary history.
Yeah, he even draws parallels to the animal kingdom,
Oh, interesting.
like where males often take on that protector role.
Okay.
Think of a lion pride. The male lion is typically the defender,
Right.
while the females hunt.
So it's like these roles aren't arbitrary.
Exactly.
They're based on these inherent strengths and instincts that have developed over millennia.
And he argues that men throughout history have been driven to build, defend, and provide for their families and community.
And while he acknowledges that women can certainly fulfill these roles too,
Right.
he suggests that for men, there's this deep-seated biological pull towards them.
It's like it's in our DNA.
And this leads into his discussion of the decline of the traditional family structure. And he presents some pretty sobering statistics
Oh, yeah.
about the negative social consequences associated with fatherless homes.
Yeah, he links fatherlessness to higher rates of poverty, crime, substance abuse.
It's really eye-opening.
It is. It suggests that the absence of a strong, positive male role model can have a devastating impact on children, especially boys.
It's a stark reminder of how vital that father figure is
Absolutely.
for a child's development.
And the ripple effects that can occur when that role is absent.
It affects the whole community, really.
It does. And Riker doesn't just point out the problem, though.
Right.
He offers a solution.
Okay, what's the solution?
He's calling on men to step up and embrace their responsibilities.
Be those protectors and providers.
Exactly. To be the men that their families and communities need.
And he's not sugarcoating it.
No.
He acknowledges that this path requires sacrifice,
Hard work.
putting the needs of others before your own.
Yeah, it's not always easy.
But he argues that it's ultimately incredibly rewarding.
There's that deep sense of satisfaction and purpose.
Knowing you're providing for and protecting those you love.
It's like tapping into something primal,
Yeah.
fulfilling a role that's been ingrained in men for generations.
And then he shifts gears a bit and turns his attention to the modern workplace.
Right, which he sees as often at odds with men's natural strengths and values.
Also,
Well, he argues that many corporate environments prioritize qualities that are typically associated with femininity.
like what kind of quality?
Things like empathy, collaboration, emotional sensitivity.
Okay, and while those are valuable traits,
Oh, absolutely.
he suggests that the overemphasis on them,
Can leave many men feeling out of place.
yeah, like they don't quite fit in.
Exactly, like they have to suppress their natural inclinations to succeed.
It's like the modern workplace has become feminized,
And that can be really alienating for a lot of men.
leaving them feeling lost and unfulfilled.
He even connects this to the rise of what some call the Delta male.
Oh, it's-
This is the guy who rejects the traditional corporate ladder,
All right.
feels alienated by that whole corporate culture, and chooses to forge his own path.
Like an entrepreneur or something.
Exactly. It's almost like a rebellion against a system that doesn't value traditional masculinity.
So what's the solution?
Well, Riker argues that instead of trying to force men to conform to a system that doesn't fit them, we need to create work environments that value both masculine and feminine qualities.
So it's about finding that balance.
Yeah, allowing everyone to thrive and contribute their unique strength.
I like that more inclusive approach.
Exactly. And that brings us back to Riker's overarching message.
Okay.
Men need to understand their own nature, or their inherent strengths, and the roles they're biologically and psychologically predisposed to.
It's about self-awareness.
Exactly.
Embracing who you are.
He's encouraging men to rediscover their masculinity, not in a toxic or aggressive way,
Right.
but in a way that's healthy, balanced, and aligned with their true selves.
So it's about finding that authentic expression of masculine.
Yeah. And he argues that this involves understanding our evolutionary past, challenging those societal expectations that don't serve us,
Right.
and building strong, supportive communities with other men.
So it's a multifaceted approach.
It is. He's challenging us to examine our own covert contract, to define success on our own terms,
And to step up and lead.
with courage, wisdom, and compassion.
It's a powerful message.
It is one that calls for men to take responsibility for their own lives and to create a world where both men and women can thrive
Each embracing their unique strength.
and fulfilling their potential.
Riker's Uncaged Masculinity is a dense read,
It is,
packed with challenging ideas and thought-provoking insight.
for sure.
It's definitely not for everyone.
But for those seeking to understand the complexities of masculinity in today's world, particularly for men who are actively working to redefine their own covert contracts,
Yes.
And navigate the challenges of modern relationships and family dynamic.
could be an incredibly valuable resource.
Absolutely.
If you're interested in diving deeper into these concepts, you can find Uncaged Masculinity on Amazon Kindle and Google Play Books,
It's sure to spark some interesting conversation.
and might even challenge some long-held beliefs.
Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep striving to become the best version of yourself.